months ago, well, a while ago, the family of Martin Luther King Jr. Won a civil trial where it was found that he was murdered as a result of a conspiracy, and it implicated the FBI and military intelligence. Both Dexter King and Coretta Scott King said they thought James Earl Ray was innocent, yet the Justice Department just recently released their findings that he was indeed the lone assassin of Martin Luther King. Do you think we've gotten to the truth about these events in our history? Do you think that they could shed any light on how our country got here?
I don't know. I mean, you have to know an enormous amount about the details of that tragedy and the subsequent depositions and the indictments and all that. And you know, once you get into that enormous detail in one case, you're just foolish to make a commentary on it from a distance. It takes literally hours and hours to be able to just give you a simple response to your question.
Over here?
Yes?
Yes, I'd like to address this because my mother, she's Sylvanian, and the Sylvanians claim to have, well, that's where Thomas Jefferson got his ideas from Sylvanians. And this concerns all the string of war criminals that have escaped justice since 1992. The United States government has known about this. They've let all these things happen. Bosnia, Kosovo, all that could have been prevented. I would like to know what your input is towards the war tribunal in Hague, bringing any of these people who are still running around out there and still going to do it again. I wonder what your feelings are about this.
Well, I understand your question. The Society of Nations, some of them, are moving toward international courts to try criminals who operated in their own dictatorship and were either thrown out or decided to live in exile and escape the protection of their country, like in Chile. And the United States has put itself into a point where, yes, it does want to try what it considers the war criminals in Bosnia and Serbia in these international tribunals. They may want to try General Pinochet and others, but the United States government and a lot of public opinion does not want to expose our personnel to these international tribunals. And you see, you really can't have it both ways. And Russia is the same way. The powerful countries want international criminal tribunals for who they think the small country criminals should be subjected to. But they don't want to subject themselves to it. And as long as that occurs, you have the power of the law only applying to smaller countries, not to the powerful countries.
Like Ronald Reagan.
Well, there are candidates, aren't there? Some say Henry Kissinger.
I got a question.
But this is something that people have to talk through. It's not that easy, by the way. I mean, you might think somebody did something great in our military or diplomatic corps, and you might not like that person being arrested on a vacation in Paris and tried before an international tribunal. I've always learned that when you try to expand international jurisdictions like that, do not do it without a thorough and sustained public debate. Because if we get too far ahead of public opinion on this, it just won't work and it'll crumble.
Question?
Yes. Let's have one more then.
You briefly talked about civil rights enforcement in
Yes.
your speech. I just wondered how you felt about expanding civil rights enforcement, for instance, prohibiting discrimination in housing and other social services on the basis of sexual orientation.
Should be expanded. Should be expanded because, the civil rights laws basically say don't discriminate against people for non-meritorious characteristics. Race, gender, gay, lesbian, and so forth. That fits right into that kind of category. If somebody has a record of vandalism, and wants to rent your house, having smashed up 3 prior houses, it doesn't matter whether they're gay, lesbian, black, white, women, male, men, they can be excluded because it's a meritorious cause. And so they should be included. By the way, Al Gore is not for equal rights of gay and lesbians. He's not for equal rights in the civil union. He's not for equal rights in the military. And yet Barney Frank, the first openly gay member of Congress, is berating this campaign and throwing his full support to Al Gore. So that's just an example of the extent to which these Democrats will bond together in order to perpetuate their hegemony over the political system.
Question. Question.
We do have to.
One more question.
Well, this better be important.
Yeah, I'm with the Realist Party. So when you get elected president, your Popemobile will be green, and I hope you abolish Columbus Day and Thanksgiving, and also native reclamation will never happen, so why bring it up?
What was the last one?
Native reclamation.
Oh. Well, as far as Thanksgiving and Columbus Day, you want to make sure you got reasonable public acquiescence to that. But I think there should be a democracy day. Certainly a democracy day is a national holiday. And no sales. Thank you. It'll stay with us all the way back to the East Coast. Yeah! All right? Are you going to work this state from east, west, north, south, so we can carry Washington in November?